Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maya. Thank you so much for joining me. And today is going to be a special episode of my coloring updates. And it is called, as you guys saw, Ohuhu Honolulu Edition. So what happened was, a couple weeks ago, Ohuhu contacted me on Instagram, which is amazing. They found me somehow. And they told me they love my channel, and I'm so honored by that. And they asked if I would like to try out the 120 set. So they kindly sent me this beautiful set of markers. I love the Honolulu series by Ohuhu. As you guys know, if you've watched my channel, these markers have made my favorites last year and the year before, especially the pastel set. And I have the two pastel sets. These are my favorite alcohol markers by far. And I've mentioned it before that, in my opinion, if you're going to get one set of alcohol markers, it should be pastels. And definitely the Honolulu, because you have this beautiful brush tip. And this makes strokes so much more beautiful for coloring. You have a very fine tip that you can get into the detail. And it's fantastic. So I love this. These are my favorite. It's worth it, in my opinion, to spend a little bit more and get that brush tip. So as you guys know, I love the pastels. And I got recently this case by Ohuhu as well. I purchased this with my own money. I love it so much. It sits on my desk like this. This is the best way to store the markers. And I do want to get another one of these in the future. I just love the look of it. The bamboo is so beautiful. But anyway, the 120 set is a beautiful set. Let me show you the swatches. So they kindly sent that to me, and they are giving us, my viewers, a discount code. I don't know if the discount code is just for this set or if it's for other products, but you can try it out. The discount code is Colored by Maya 10. You get 10% off. And it's good for like 2 months, she said. So let me show you the swatches of the 120 set. And what's great about the 120 set is that you do get some new pastel colors that are not in the two pastel sets. And you get a really nice selection of darker colors, some brights and some muted tones. So you have a really nice selection of grays as well. And so I love it. And thank you again so much to Ohuhu. So I have been playing around with these, and I prepared like a coloring update episode for you guys centered around these markers. So I hope you enjoy the episode, and let's get started. Okay, so I am working in Woodland Kingdom coloring book. I just kind of showed you the cover there, and I'm showing you the 120 set, which is a beautiful. And we're going to get started on this page. Now, this is a double page spread, but I'm going to mostly focus on one side in this clip. And hopefully you'll see the other. I'll finish the other side off camera in the next few months whenever I feel like it. And I'll show you the rest. But I am starting with a mid-tone green. And then I'm going in with a shade that is a little bit darker. And these are all from the 120 set. So then another shade, a little even darker, just to add the shading. Look how much shading you can add with just the markers. Then I added a lighter color, if you saw on the outside. And I'm working on the trunk now. I did 2 different browns on the trunk. Then I noticed that this page is really busy and it's hard to tell what's going on. So my trick for that is to do the background. Yeah, so I do the background, and that really helps me to differentiate what's going on the page, the forefront for the background. So I did most of the background there I did off camera. Now I am starting on adding some shading to that tree. I based it with a lighter green. Now I'm adding the darker green around the branches, just like you would with a pencil. I'm shading, but with the alcohol markers. And this is great for like when your wrist hurts, it's great to color with alcohol markers because it's just so easy. Now I'm adding an even darker green, so I'm adding more shading there, as you could see, in between the branches, darkening it up. And you can see I'm wearing a wrist brace because my wrist has been hurting. Too much coloring. Now I'm adding some dots to add the shading. That'll help me when I base with pencil later on. I won't have to do as much pencil. That's what the dots are for. And now I'm adding a little bit of a darker brown on the branches to give it some shading, because I based it with like a really warm kind of brown. So now I'm going on top with a bit of a darker brown for some shading, and I'm doing some dots as well. That's going to help me when I do the pencil on top. So I'm adding even more dots now. I feel like it needs a little bit more shading. And this is instead of like my black pencil, although I might do that on top later as well. See how that makes the branches kind of pop and make them separate from the tree? So always add more and more shading. The more you can add, the better. My dad, who is an art teacher, a lot of you guys know, he has a saying that he would always tell his students, and that is, don't be afraid of the dark. That was his thing, because he would always encourage people to add more and more shading. So I'm going to steal his line. Now I am basing this little leaf branch with a light yellow, and I'm going on top with like an ochre yellow. And now I decided to take a pencil. I believe it's a super color. They're on my desk. And I'm adding some green on top of that. And now I'm taking a darker green marker and adding some more shading that I felt like it needed. And now a little bit more pencil to smooth out those dots so they're not as prominent. Next, I'm going to be working in this book called Zen Garden Artist Coloring Book by Trina Delziel. And I saw this on Bonnie's channel, Coloring Up North. I will link her channel below. Yeah, it's a really cute book. It is single-sided, and I love garden themes. So this has a garden theme. I love it, and very, very cute. So that's kind of like what it looks like. So right now you could see that I am basing the trees. I based them with like a lighter green already. And now I'm going on top with the darker green. And I already did the water off camera, but that is also alcohol markers. And I used a couple of shades of blue for the water. And I think I did go on top a little bit with pencil to smooth out like the borders between the colors of the blue. But yeah, most of it is basically alcohol marker. So I'm just adding, now I'm going in with a darker green to add more shading to those trees. And they look like little trees popping out of the water, like a swamp. I don't know, that's what it looked like to me. I love the gradients that you can get with Ohuhu because they have so many shades of the different colors. Now I'm taking my metallic jelly roll and I am covering the black lines, which you guys know that I already like to do. So let me just show you how it looked, the basing. See all the different colors that I used to base it? And I did use a little bit of pencil on top to kind of smooth out the borders, but it's so quick and easy with the alcohol markers. I love it. So far that's where I am on that one. Next book that I'm going to be showing you is Adventures in the Garden. And I am going to be, I showed this book in one of my coloring updates. I started basing it and then I went on top with pencil and then I thought, let me film. So I'm going to show you where I kind of started filming. So this is a page that I have started with the 120 set. And I used, I'll just show you the back. so you can see what I used to base. I used sky blue for the sky. For the little lake here, I used a couple of colors. And the mint blue, turquoise blue, pastel blue. And I used a couple of greens for this gradient here behind her. And I used one brown on the bottom, but I'm going to go, I think I will go on top with a little bit of a darker brown, and then I will continue with Inktense pencils on top to kind of add some shading. So I wanted to show you where I was with that, and then we can continue. So I am using an Inktense pencil and activating it to kind of add a little shading to the pool. Now I am taking, I believe, yeah, my new Artex pencils, and I am smoothing out the border between the colors that I already based underneath. So that is usually what I do after I base with gradients of colors. I'll take pencil to smooth out the transition from one color to the next, basically. And adding a little bit there to the pool and some more shading there. It definitely needs even more than that, but this is how I'm starting to layer, the pencils on top of the alcohol marker. Okay, so now I have started on this kind of leaf. There's several of them in the picture. And you can see I'm basing with my lightest green. That's where I'm starting out. And you can see I left a little bit of white where the highlight is. So I didn't base the entire thing. I left some white. This is the next green up in the gradient. So I'm starting to go over the lightest one with that second green. Now this is the third green. And I'm just going on top. That's just like with pencils. Lightest to darkest in this case, and leaving a highlight is really nice so you don't have to go with like acrylic marker on top. So now I'm taking another mid-tone again to just darken it up, and that's what's nice is that you can layer, alcohol markers. So I'm taking a lighter color again and just adding a little bit more because I felt like it needed a little bit more color. So it's actually one of the lighter ones and I'm layering them. Then I took a darker one to add some more dark, and you could just see I'm layering the colors until I get my desired effect. Then I'm showing you my greens there, the gradient that I'm using. I'm starting on the little pool made of leaves. It looks like a pool made of leaves. So cute. So I'm using my lightest green in the gradient to start basing it. And as you can see, I'm not being too precious about it. It's kind of like rough because I know I'm going to go on top. So then I decided, there's my coffee. I decided to take my darkest green and define where the shadow is. I know that I don't usually do it like this, but because this is such a big area, I'm doing it like this. So I'm taking my darkest and I'm defining where the shadow is, and then I'm going to go up from there. So that's my darkest, and you can see where I'm putting the shadow. And it looks like I'm adding the lightest again, just a little bit more. I didn't want to leave as much white, I guess. And now I'm going with the second darkest up from the bottom. And I'm building it up from there. So after this one, it just gets progressively lighter. Yep, so taking a little sip of coffee and going from the bottom up to lighter and lighter shades. And I'll just let you watch that. Pretty self-explanatory. This page is so cute. I love anything garden theme. It's just so cute. So I will be adding pencil on top of this, but you could see how I'm building up the color. And now I'm doing the little sticks that are holding up the pool with the brown, and I also will add a little bit more shade with my green, I guess. Just showing you my process. I'm trying not to, I didn't want to speed up too much because some of you said that my last color with me was a little bit fast. So I want you to be able to see here. I'm adding a little bit darker brown to the bottom. Just, it's a very lighter shade. I mean, it's not that dark, but adding some darker brown to the bottom, and now I'm adding some green, a little bit more shading there with pencil and alcohol marker. Now I'm showing you my pinks, the pink gradient that I'm going to be using on the flowers. So I am basing with the lightest color of pink, and I'm going progressively darker from there. Not being too precious again, because I will go over with, oops, sorry, you saw my head. I will go over with pencil as well here, so progressively darker. It's like a mauve. There's so many wonderful pinks in the 120 set and in the pastel sets. This is a darker red that I've added, and even darker there, just some shading. Coloring the stems, and I'm adding right now ink tints to the bottom, to the ground, to the dirt, to make it a little bit darker on the bottom. And now I'm activating the ink tints on top of the alcohol marker. I love using ink tints to shade. It's awesome. And now I'm taking my trusty, is it a black? I think it's my black Prismacolor. And just to add some shading and definition. So I don't really work in order of like as if I'm gonna show this on a color along. I just kind of, whatever I feel like doing, I'll pick it up and do that. You know what I mean? So I know it's a little bit all over the place, but I do jump like that from one thing to another when something pops in my mind. So right now it is about the black Prismacolor. And thank you so much for my last coloring update. You guys really liked that tip, so I'm really, really happy. And now I'm starting on these leaves over here. I'm using my favorite kind of green to base, which is like a light yellowy green. Then I'm going on top with a darker green. I think it's bud green I'm using on top. And I'm beginning to learn the colors of the greens because I use them so much. I'm trying to pick colors that will be a little bit different than the other leaves that I did. And if you notice here, the strokes that I'm doing, that's why I love the Honolulu series, the brush tip, because you can do strokes that will really make it look much better. And you can't really do that with like a bullet tip or like a chisel tip, you know? The brush tip really, I don't know. To me, it's worth it to get the brush tip 100%. Pay a little bit more, get the brush tip. It's so worth it. And now I'm going on top with a bit of a darker green. I think that one is called Absinthe. So yeah, I was trying to say that I try to, you know, make the leaves look different from each other and pick different colors. It's hard because, you know, there's only so many greens you could do, but I decided to add like a reddish pink border, make it look like one of those tropical leaves, or like, I have some really cool plants in my house that have a little bit of maroon in them and purple. So that kind of it like inspired me. I'll try to insert a picture if I remember of my plant at home that inspired this like type of leaf. But as you can see, I took a dark red maroon, and I'm just adding designs on top just to give the leaf a little something extra and make it look a little cooler. So now I'm taking a little bit of pencil, my super colors, just to add a little bit of pencil on top there. And I'm really liking how it looks. What do you guys think? Do you like this kind of leaf that I did? It's just a creation that I just randomly created. Okay, guys, this is my plant at home that kind of inspired my, see the designs on the leaves? So cool. I wish I knew what it was called, but I don't. But yeah, I love this leaf. I mean, this plant. Okay, so right now I am going to take these Ohuhu glitter markers, which I love. And I don't use them enough because they are for single-sided pages because they do bleed through. But they are like amazing. Look at this sparkle. Hold on. So I'm going to take these two colors, and I think I will do the lighter green in here. Let's take you in closer. Oh my gosh, that looks awesome. Oh, stems, I am gonna do the darker green. Okay, so I did that, and I hope you can appreciate the sparkle. These are so awesome. I already had these, like they didn't send them to me or anything, but I don't know why I use them more. I need to use them more because they're so, so good. It's just that it's for single-sided, so I need to remember that. Okay, now, since we're on an Ohuhu kick, this is another product that they did not send me. I already had this, and it is amazing. They're paint pens, Ohuhu paint pens. And I think these are going to make it to my favorites at the end of the year where I round up all my favorite supplies. I think these are going to make it there. What I'm going to do here, I'm taking one of the acrylic paint pens, and we are going to cover the black lines. So I'm just going to walk you through, I sped it up a little bit, of covering the black lines with this beautiful like pink color. Can you kind of see like the difference? I feel like it really makes a big difference with the covering of the black lines with these. These acrylic paint pens are so amazing. Look at the difference between the leaf where I covered the black lines and the leaf that I didn't. I feel like it makes such a big difference, and it just makes it pop. So I wanted to show you another book. I love using the Ohuhu alcohol markers, the Honolulu, in my mythographic books. And I'm going to show you a page where I used my pastels. I think I used also a darker color, but I did go on top of this with pencil to smooth it out, but it's totally based with the alcohol markers. So it is so easy to do mythographic pages when you base the background first with like a light colored alcohol marker. And then I will do even the bigger elements, but I just like using alcohol marker in the mythographic books. I think that's my favorite medium to use. And look at the beautiful variation you can get. There's so many awesome colors, so many gradients in the Ohuhu markers, the lighter colors. It's fantastic. And you can achieve really, really nice gradients. So I'm going to show you also my Paradise book. So another place where I did a lot of alcohol marker in here when I was coloring in this. You can see it's all based in alcohol marker. See, so these are all based with Ohuhu alcohol markers, pretty much. You can see. Yeah, so I love using, and then I also have some in Dream Garden. I would say, yeah, see, I started here. See, when you base the entire background with a color, it really helps to differentiate. It's kind of like a puzzle, you know? So for me, oh yeah, that's finished, but I could see I need a lot more shading here. These are older pages, but I did use my alcohol marker, see? Entirely based with alcohol marker and pencil on top. And it's so much fun. This paper is great for alcohol markers, so I feel like it works really nicely here. yeah, so I just wanted to show that to you guys. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a blast playing with these markers. I love them so much. They were in my favorites last year and the year before. Just amazing. So big thank you to Ohuhu for sending me the 120 set. I love it. It's the perfect addition to my pastels. And that is all. I hope you have a wonderful time coloring. Oh, and don't forget about the discount code. It's going to be linked in the description box below if you're in the market. I hope you take advantage of that. So have a wonderful coloring month and week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.